Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mr. BuildWealth, and as always, if this is your first time joining me, I'm here to share information and resources to help you get started with building wealth. And give me 1 second here. As always, I want to gonna have a plug in this, post that. All right. So, wanted to come on here very briefly and just talk about where do you get your advice from? And the reason I wanted to come on and do this talk around this specific topic is because, like, I talk to a lot of people who are, I'll call them insiders. They work at banks, investment firms, insurance companies. I know a lot of entrepreneurs, and we just talk. And I always share stories about like my client interactions with them to get their take on whether my advice was like appropriate. And the resounding answer is yes. Like, the advice that I give people is spot on. And it's not, I'm not trying to steer you one way or the other. I'm just being very objective in how I go about doing what I do. And so one of my buddies today was sharing with me how, he didn't get souped up in all this, I would say, trading frenzy that's been happening with the whole GameStop thing. And just with people who are like all of a sudden becoming traders. Like, they have never talked investments, and now you're seeing them post things about trading options, or they're doing Forex, or they're doing something you've never seen this person do. And the scary thing is that people are looking to these, I'll call them novice investors or traders, as like the experts. And so I want to like caution you to be mindful of who you're getting your advice from. Because if the friend you're watching post about some trading that they're doing, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're probably only posting like the wins. Now, there are some platforms where people do classes and they kind of work with their community and do the trades, and they show you the wins and the losses. But when people are first starting out, a lot of times they're only going to report the good stuff. And that's where it gets scary, because all you might see is the positives, and they're never sharing with you the negative side, the downside. And it's just something that you got to get comfortable with, because my buddy I was speaking with today, he was kind of saying that everybody's just, you're getting these fly by night people who are hopping into the game, which I'm actually encouraged by, right? I'm glad more people are investing in something, but I think we got to be very mindful of where we're getting the advice and why we're placing certain bets on certain types of securities or investments. Now, if you've taken some time to kind of vet, do your proper vetting, and you've done your due diligence, then that's fine. But I was telling him the story this morning. I said, look, man, I had a buddy who never seen him talk investments in my life, and he posted that he had been trading options. And he's one of like many people I'm connected to who I've never had a conversation about financial planning. And literally I see a post about options trading. So again, we're going from 0 to 100, and we've skipped all the numbers in between. So I know somebody's going to look at these posts, and they're going to think they can start trading options just like my friend and these people that I follow. I'm like, this is the problem, right? We got to be very mindful of who we're getting our advice from when it comes to financial planning, to investing, to insurance, to taxes, to pick any other topic, right? We got to be very mindful of where we get advice from, because unfortunately, a lot of bad shit is being shared with the world. Like, anytime I've done a credit workshop or a credit counseling session, the stuff that people tell me it blows my mind that it has been shared with thousands of people. I'll call it a myth. It's always something that they heard. And then my question is always, who'd you hear it from? Look, I want people to do well financially. I want them to feel comfortable when they go to bed at night. I want them to protect their families. I want them to be able to retire when they want to retire. But you have got to start checking, who are you getting your financial advice from? And if it's not from somebody who has been, I'll say, connected to the financial services industry for some time, then maybe they're just that friend of yours who's very smart, who's always done well in everything else in their life. And so just by their experience of life, you trust them. Because if not, we got to stop getting advice from, I'm going to say, the people who aren't wealthy. Like, again, you're following your friend and you ain't got no money. And now your friend who's never had money is all of a sudden doing something incredible. And I'm thinking, like, really? Let's see how this works out. I'm not trying to, throw shade on anybody for getting involved in any new endeavors, but let's check in every 6 months to a year to see if these people still doing the same shit they've been posting. That's the play. So I don't know who you're getting your advice from. Just go digging in the crates. Go search back and see if they have any type of a track record with financial stuff. And what you'll find is the ones who are doing it, they've been doing it for a long time. I'm one of those people. And I still will come across clients who will tell me, well, my friend told me this. I'm like, is your friend a financial planner? That's all. Is your friend a financial planner? And usually they're not. So who the hell you getting your advice from? Look, I follow a lot of reputable sources like other wealthy people do. I talk to people who are very successful in other endeavors outside of, like financial services. And I ask them when they look to get advice, who do they go to? And they always say the same thing. Go to the expert. That's it. Find the expert around what topic area you want to learn more about, and then go do it. And if there's not an expert that you know, I always tell people, go to YouTube and watch a few videos, and whoever's in the video talking, just go follow them and see what else they've been talking about on said topic. It's unbelievable, again, the stuff that I hear from people in terms of advice. And I'm thinking like this is like the blind leading the blind. It's the poor person leading the poor person. It's just not going to work out. Look, man, wealthy people are playing a different ball game from some of us. And I am obsessed with trying to learn the rules to the game so I can try to share them with my clients, with my family, with my friends. And so I'm getting it from credible sources who are doing the work. And also, this friend I was talking to this morning, I was sharing with him how certain communities, and it's not even a black thing, this is just communities that aren't doing well in life by, I don't know, society standards, they normally are always late to the party. Now, y'all can take it how you want. Poor people and people who don't care about their lives or businesses, they always late too. So again, you can see where these trends start to happen where we're not doing anything different. And I think that's what bothers me around when people say they heard something, they got some advice from somebody who wasn't like a financial expert. And even still, there's some people in my industry who have given bad information. And I'm just like, wow, this is sad that you've built a business on telling people the wrong thing, or you didn't share enough about a certain product or solution, which is also, I think you're doing your clients a disservice or your customers a disservice when you're not being honest and forthright. And so when I'm speaking to my clients and giving them advice, I tell them exactly what I know and don't know. Straight up. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I either know this, I have an opinion, I have a clue, or after that meeting, I'm going to go do some reading. I'm going to call my friends who are smarter than me. Again, I have a lot of people who are way smarter than me when it comes to this stuff. And so I lean on my network so I get credible advice that I can then trickle down to my clients. And when I produce content, I'm getting this from very credible sources if it's not something that I've learned through my experience as a financial expert. So I just want you to be very mindful of who you're getting your advice from. And what I will also say is if the advice you are receiving is appropriate and is resulting in you achieving your financial goals and dreams, then it was really good advice. But if you find yourself still kind of stuck, and I don't care how old you are, how young you are, what color you are, just some of us are just stuck. We're like, I make all this money, but I still don't feel like I'm ahead. Like I don't feel like I'm winning. Talk to somebody else. Get some advice from somebody who has gotten over that hurdle. So when you reach a milestone, if you're kind of stalling out, then maybe you got to kind of double down on challenging yourself again to ensure that you can move past whatever roadblock that it is. So I talk to, again, people who are in the industry. I get great advice. I take my own advice. I take their advice, and then I execute. And so what I want to come on here and share with everybody is just be very mindful of where you're getting your financial planning advice, and you got to check your sources. And if somebody says some foolishness, you need to go check 3 more sources after you hear them say something. So if it's something that you're like, that don't really make sense to me, go to YouTube, see if anybody else feels the same way. Go read an article, pick a platform. There's not a shortage of information and resources that you can find on the internet. but you should go fact check it. That's the one thing we should do more of. And I think if we did that, a lot of us could move past, again, some of these roadblocks that are prohibiting us from being financially great. And also, I think if we started getting better advice financially, we probably could disrupt generational poverty. That's what I believe. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. Sharing good information and ensuring that the people that I touch, and maybe the people who never become clients of mine, if you just hear my message and it resonates with you, then maybe you'll do something different that can help disrupt generational poverty. Whether it's for your family, for your larger community, because at some point, enough is enough. Like enough is enough, and you really just have to, at some point, get tired of this nonsense that you're seeing every day. Like I know we aspire to do more, we dream about doing more. You know, we are doing some of the things appropriately. In other areas, we need to really check up and see, is there something else that we could be doing or that even we're not doing? And a lot of times there are, these blinders that we have as we go through life, where we're kind of like in our zone, right? We're working hard, taking care of our families, running businesses. And then at some point you're like, what do I have to show for all this? And some people can't tell me that answer. They really don't know. They really have no clue. And for sometimes it's going to be like, you need to sit down, take a break, and just do the work. I had another meeting late this evening with one of my old friends and teammates, and we had a really good talk, like around, he was very honest. And I think that's the other part too. When you're getting advice from people, like just be like, keep it real, like keep it 100. Like that, you want to ask those type of questions when you're dealing with matters that are related to money. Just let me know, am I doing the right thing, the wrong thing, or what do you think about this? And people who are really trying to do better, they will never get defensive. They will never get their feelings hurt. Because this ain't about your feelings. This is about getting money, providing for your family. This is about creating and sustaining a legacy. So forget these feelings, like leave them at the door. This is business. And when you're reaching out to people, you want to be getting advice from people, again, who are going to keep it real with you. So hopefully I can continue to do that throughout my career. I'm trying to always keep it real with you. And if somebody ever hears something that I said that they want to challenge me on, please challenge me, because I am not too proud to admit when I'm wrong. So again, be very mindful of where you're getting your financial advice from. And if you need some help, Mr. BuildWealth is waiting for you. Not sure when the time is going to be right for you, but I'm always ready. So if you want to check out the website, thebuildwealthmovement.com, or just want to schedule that 15-minute phone call to chop it up, because again, it don't take me long to get to the point. So I'm not going to nickel and dime you. You get what you pay for. And so I want to make sure that we get in and out. And if you need more, you tell me. I'm not going to try to pull it out of you. I got a plan and I'm working it. So if you don't have a solid game plan and you're just getting advice from all these various sources and you're not really able to make sense of it, I could probably help you out. So that's all I got for y'all tonight. So again, be mindful of where you get your financial advice. And if you need a credible resource, Mr. BuildWealth will be standing by. All right, y'all. Have a good night.